Well, right now what I'm going to show you is a sangria, and this is my very favorite sangria because it's something that I can only cook in the fall, and I call it Wicked Autumn Apple Sangria because the first time we made it I had some friends over, and the common thing that we all kept saying was this is just wicked good. So what I have here, and typically I would have already had this setting overnight, but we're just going to put it together now, is 1 cup of vanilla vodka and some sugar. And to that, we're going to add some apple cider. That's also something that's kind of seasonal to fall. And we're also going to add something that you might find to be a little bit surprising. Now, the first time that I made this, I wanted to use fresh ginger and cinnamon sticks and maybe some cloves. Well, I didn't have any of those things. So I looked in my spice cabinet and I found my little jar of pumpkin pie spice, and I read the ingredients, and sure enough what's in it is cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. So I said, you know what, let's give it a shot. And to me, this is what makes the sangria. We're just going to use a little bit. It's 1/4 teaspoon. And we're going to whisk that up a little bit to make sure that that spice gets distributed. And also to make sure that that sugar gets good and dissolved. Now, to this, we're just going to add 1 orange. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And it doesn't have to be fancy. We're just going to quickly cut it and put it in there. And again, usually I would have done this maybe the night before or 3 or 4 hours ahead of time to let the fruit really soak up and infuse in that vodka. And then these are Honeycrisp apples. Now this is something that you only find this time of year also, which kind of lends to the autumn name. And we're just going to quickly chop these up. We're going to use 2 Honeycrisp apples. And 2 pears. Now, when I went to the grocery store, they had these gigantic pears, and I decided at the price that they were that one was going to be plenty. As a matter of fact, this big guy cost me $1.57, so I really didn't think that we needed 2 of those. And we're just going to chop him up. I have already washed all of this fruit, by the way, in case you were wondering. The kids like to come in here and get fruit as a snack, so whenever I come home from the grocery store, I go ahead and wash everything and put it out so that they can have it. And you see how quickly this all comes together. Now the little green pears are probably a lot prettier, but I thought this guy had potential, so this is what we went with. I'm just going to cut off these pieces and put them in a bowl. Now, like I said, usually this would have been setting overnight, so that fruit would have already kind of infused with the cider and the vodka. But since we didn't have a chance to do that, I'm just going to stick this wooden spoon in here and just kind of muddle everything up a little bit. Kind of get some of those juices out of there. And then to this, we add either 2 regular bottles or 1 large bottle of any dry white wine, like a Chardonnay or maybe even a Pinot Grigio. And then we just stir it all up. Now, if this were already chilled, I might not drink it with ice. I don't know what the rule is with sangria. I know that some folks like it with ice and some folks like it without, but I'm going to put a little bit of ice in mine. I'm just going to get some of that fruit in there. Grab an orange. And there we go.